The release of NHL 18 is finally here, and hockey fans across North America and beyond are starting to feel the excitement. Now, each year brings new features and options to the series that are expected to improve the series from the previous installment, but there are many that remain on the fence when it comes to making the $60 investment. I'm Mike Straw from Sports Gamers Online, and here are 10 things you need to know about NHL 18. We kick things off from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, because for the first time ever, Vegas has a team in one of the big four American leagues, and that team belongs to the NHL. The Vegas Golden Knights make their debut in NHL 18. From the arena to the jerseys, the Golden Knights are finally here and finally playable. Next, piggybacking off the Vegas news, NHL 18 will feature full league expansion for the first time in the history of the series. This doesn't just include Vegas becoming the 31st team in the league either. Players can now create the 32nd team in the NHL for either CPU or user control in their franchise mode. With a full creation suite and expansion draft, the 32nd team in the NHL will be built how you see fit based off the protected player list submitted by teams. You'll also be able to create the new team's affiliate in the AHL or choose from a pre-made list of teams. But just remember, league expansion can only be done at the beginning of a franchise, so you better make up your mind quick. The next thing you should know is that EA Sports is no longer publishing on last-gen systems. After releasing legacy versions of the game on the Xbox 360 and PS3, NHL 18 marks the first year that no version of the game will be available on the last-gen consoles. While it doesn't mean too much at the moment, it does allow the developers to focus all of their time and attention on the current systems as opposed to those that are over a decade old. But just because the last gen has been left behind, fans shouldn't expect to see a new game engine. NHL 18 doesn't make the jump to the Frostbite engine like Madden 18 did this year. Instead, the game remains on the same Ignite engine it's been on since it came to the Xbox One and PS4. It's much more fine-tuned than it was when it debuted in 2014, but it's starting to get that feeling of being stale. Hopefully, this is the last year before the jump, but we'll obviously have to wait and see for that. Up next is the debuting NHL 3s. This is the big new mode offered by EA Sports in NHL 18, and damn is it special. The mode takes elements from the great NHL 3-on-3 arcade title in 2009 and brings that arcade-style gameplay to the next generation of consoles. Fast gameplay, big hits, and different ways to win all make 3s one of the more fun game modes to be introduced to the series. Whether it's playing against the CPU or online against friends or random players, 3s will definitely be tough to put down. Now on the ice, developers have given fans a new defensive skill stick to utilize. For years, the focus of the NHL series has been on the offensive side of the spectrum, but with NHL 18, EA Sports is trying to balance it out a bit with the newly overhauled defensive skill stick. The new skill stick offers a variety of ways to break up odd man rushes, passes, and get in front of shots. Being able to keep your stick on the ice one way while turning your player's body another makes playing defense much more fun than it ever has, especially if you play on the blue line in the ASHL. But don't worry, forwards, there are new offensive moves to utilize as NHL 18 also features additions to the offensive side of the puck. The offensive skill stick doesn't feel too revolutionary with its innovations, but it is pretty nice to pull off between the legs passes for a scoring chance. That being said, pulling off these moves will feel more like a Mortal Kombat combo as opposed to taking actual skill on the sticks, so just be prepared for frustration when learning to pull them off. Since jumping to the current consoles, the menu system in EA Sports NHL has been a slow, clunky, and bugging mess. That all seems to change with NHL 18 as players will now be able to pin options to the main menu for quick and easy access to what they play the most. No more pointless searching through menus. Now, everything you'll need can be put front and center with a customizable main screen. Now it's time for some disappointment. Once again, for the fourth installment in a row, there is no major improvement to the Be a Pro mode. You still create your player, choose to go through the CHL or jump to the NHL, and work towards being a Hockey Hall of Famer. But it's still the same grind it has been for years, and hasn't seen any major changes aside from some coaching feedback updates and the ability to request a trade from your team. Another disappointment, and the last thing you need to know, is that Online Franchise or GM Connected are once again MIA from this game. The developers have constantly stated that the player base for the mode was so small that it didn't justify bringing it back in NHL 18. But what they fail to ever acknowledge, however, is the fact that the mode was so clunky and unplayable off the ice that it pushed fans away from something many clearly want based on what you see on social media. So what are you looking for with NHL 18? Let us know with the comment section below, and for more great NHL 18 coverage, be sure to stick with SportsGamersOnline.com.